The sun's barely up, but the Florida heat is already wrapping you like a damp towel. You've breezed through photo validation, scored your first ride of the day, and now your group's thirsty. Real thirsty. You spot that familiar red and black machine across the plaza, pulsing like a soda-powered beacon of hope. But wait, which cup did you buy again? And why won't it scan here? At Universal Orlando, not all cups are created equal. Some are total money savers, one's only for the hotels, and one, well, let's just say it's more about looking fun than saving you anything. Don't worry though, I've got you.
Welcome back to Unlocking Universal, your key to all things Universal Orlando and beyond. Now here's your guide and unfair advantage, Holly.
Before we get started, I have an update to last week's situation where a guest wanted advice, but I had no way of contacting her. I am so happy to report that ATL9640 emailed me after she stopped laughing, of course. In unrelated news, if you are in the Atlanta area, you may want to check out Six Flags Fright Fest this year. There's an amazing band performing at the event. I just cannot let you miss this. They're called Nightshades, and I am totally blown away and obsessed. I'm going to put a link to their promo video in the show notes, and you can thank me later. Today, we are unlocking one of the most misunderstood and occasionally frustrating little parts of a Universal Orlando vacation, the refillable cup programs. You heard me right, that's programs with an S on the end. Whether you're staying on-site or off, hopping between parks, or planning your very first visit, these cups can be a great value, but only if you know which one to get and where to use it. By the end of this episode, you're going to know exactly how all three programs work, how to avoid the dreaded "no refills here" moment, and have a few insider tips that'll make them work even harder for you. So grab your favorite cup, I've got mine, let's fill it up and get right into it. As I mentioned, Universal Orlando actually has 3 completely separate refillable drink programs, each with its own vessels, if you will, and each plays by its own distinct rules. First up is the Coca-Cola Freestyle Souvenir Cup, and it's for use in the parks. Here's what you need to know. The Freestyle Cups work at all of the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines in all 4 of the theme parks: Universal Studios Florida, Islands of Adventure, Volcano Bay, Epic Universe, plus the Coke Icon cart in City Walk. Icy refills are included, so look out for the stands and the kiosks where you see ices are being sold, and you're all set to go. Once you activate the cup, you can pour a new drink every 10 minutes for the rest of the day. And you can reactivate the same cup on future park days or future park trips for less than the original price, about a third less. So which cups are included in this program? Well, these are the big hard-sided plastic cups that you see with the handle on top of the lid. These are the ones that you see people carrying around most often. They can be purchased at any kiosks and quick service locations throughout all of the parks, and at the Coke Icon cart in City Walk. Sometimes there are even several versions floating around at any particular time, especially during special events like Jaws 50th anniversary, Halloween Horror Nights, Mardi Gras, the holidays, etc. In addition to this well-known cup, you can also opt for the more tourist-type tumblers. They're more often found in the shops, though. I have seen a few at the beverage kiosks occasionally, but your best bet is to look in the shops for them. They're going to cost more because they're larger, they're a higher quality. But these are the ones that you're going to carry around after the trip. I mean, unless you're like me and you carry your Jaws cup pretty much everywhere. But overall, they are much higher quality and they're better insulated too. The first time you activate it, you're going to have to go to a manned kiosk so the team member there can activate it. But after that, you can self-serve your way to hydrated bliss. This is one of my favorite features, by the way. You don't have to stand in line to be served every time you fill your Freestyle cup. Whether it's the tourist style or the traditional style, you may encounter a line at the Freestyle machine maybe, but it's going to move super fast and you're not going to be needing to wait to be served by a team member. So here's a pro tip that I swear by and personally use the heck out of. You can pop into the quick service or fast casual locations scattered throughout the parks, and you're going to have little to no line at all. And you get a little AC break in the process. That is a win-win in my book, especially in the Florida summer. One thing that you really want to note with the Freestyle program is that because of licensing restrictions, you're not going to find any of the Freestyle machines in either the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or Springfield, USA. So you're going to want to top that cup off before heading into those areas. We know how they work, but how much do they cost? The regular park freestyle cups are $19 if you buy one. If you buy two, they're going to be $17 a piece. If you buy between 3 and 6, they're only $15 a piece. And then when you go to reactivate them on subsequent days, it's just $12. It's a total deal, in my opinion. I mean, if you're talking about spending the entire day in the park or night, if it's Halloween Horror Nights, you've got to stay hydrated. And this is a really simple, easy, convenient, cost-effective way to do that. Now, if you're going to opt with the Freestyle tumbler, that one's upwards of $30 or more, depending on the style. And those are really more of a collectible. You're going to use it and then take it home and use it more. I think for in the parks, you really want the one with the handle. The second refillable program is the classic refillable souvenir mugs. These are also for use in the parks with a little asterisk that we'll talk about. Now, keep in mind, this is a totally different program from the Freestyle cups. And here's how this one works. You're going to buy the cup of your choice, and your first fill is included in the price of that cup. After your first fill, you're going to pay a small fee each time for soda refills. Right now, it's $1.69 plus tax, I believe. Let me know if you see anything different. I don't really buy these cups, so I kind of check every once in a while, and prices may vary. But just to give you an idea, it's a very reasonable amount when you compare that to buying a single-serve Coke. If you walk up to a kiosk, it's going to run you $5, no joke. That soda refill discounted price is going to be available at kiosks and stands in the parks, and here's where that asterisk comes in, you can also get it at any walk-up concession stand in City Walk. So the Hot Dog Hall of Fame or the Red Oven Pizza Bakery, anything like that. You can walk up, get your $1.69 refill, and you're on your way. Now, other than soda, some other drinks like slushies and ices are also going to be discounted, but they're not all going to be the same price. It might be a little different, but you are going to get it as a discount. Just keep in mind that these mugs do not work at the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines, other than for ice and water, which is available free at all times. So which cups are included in this program? This is where you're going to find your more novelty cups, the character sippers, if you want to drink out of Bart Simpson's head, or a Minion, or Jurassic Park dinosaurs, things like that. Your metal souvenir mugs and steins, a lot of times you're going to find those in the shops. And also, this includes the Butterbeer souvenir cups. You're going to find these at the food and beverage stands throughout the parks. They're going to vary by the stand. But here's where it sometimes gets confusing, so stay with me. It's important to note that if you buy a Butterbeer mug on its own or as an upgrade to your Butterbeer purchase, that mug absolutely qualifies you for the refill price, but that refill price is for the soda taps. Even though you may have been served a Butterbeer in it, you cannot get a discounted Butterbeer refilled into it. Now, if you purchase it full of a Butterbeer to begin with, and then you go back and get a quote-unquote refill, it's going to cost you less than the first time, but that's because you're not paying the price of a mug. It's going to be a full $9 for that Butterbeer. So how much do these cups cost? Well, this one's a little difficult too compared to the traditional Freestyle ones because there's a much bigger variety of cups to choose from, and they're constantly kind of cycling through and adding new ones, and some are gone after a while, stuff like that. But I would plan on spending a minimum of $11, and then they go up from there, just to keep in mind. The nicer the cup, the more it's going to run you, but that just makes sense. Our third refillable beverage program is the Hotel Freestyle mug, and this is for the on-site hotels. If you're staying at a Universal Orlando hotel, you'll see these at the food courts. You're going to see stacks of them at the food courts, and each have their own specific ones for their hotel, although you can use them at any of the 11 hotels. The Hotel Freestyle cups are much smaller than the Park Freestyle cups, and they have a snap-on lid with a side handle. If you have ever stayed at Walt Disney World, these are almost identical to the ones used at the Walt Disney World Resort hotels. It's important to keep in mind that these are Freestyle cups, but they will only work at the Freestyle machines at the hotels. Well, why is that? Universal Orlando Resort has a partnership with Lowe's Hotels. All of their hotels are actually operated by Lowe's with Universal Orlando employees and Lowe's employees involved. So that's why there are different refillable programs for the parks and then for the hotels. Now, the hotel refillable program is great if you're spending time at the pool, because there are freestyle machines right by the pools. For the room, in my opinion, it's not as big of a benefit. We are local, so we bring our drinks with us to stock the beverage cooler. It's just not worth it, in my opinion, to traipse all the way down to the lobby or the pool areas for that small drink amount. It's 16 ounces, and that's before you add ice in it. It's not worth it to me. I still buy them because they're very, very cute and collectible. But I would recommend that you maybe bring or have drinks delivered to keep in your hotel room. It's so much more convenient. You can have them delivered by a bunch of different local stores. You can use your Walmart Plus or Target Plus memberships. You can even have Amazon delivered to you at the hotel. Like I said, I still buy the cups, especially the Halloween ones at Cabana Bay. They are so cute, and they change them like from year to year. I mean, are you really a resort fan if you don't have like one shelf in your kitchen just full of cups that you really don't use? If you're a visual learner like me and all of this is seeming to melt together, no worries. You can just grab the free refillable cheat sheet that I made for you. The link is in the show notes. I just find that this is one of those small things that can be kind of a big pain in the butt. But this is the kind of pain in the butt that we can easily rectify. I told you I entertained myself. So what are some tips and real world advice that I can give you? Well, first of all, it's going to be to match your cup to your plan. If you're going to be in the parks a lot for large periods of time, I say absolutely go with the freestyle cups because those are going to be your best bang for your buck. They're easy to carry. You know, when you go to get on a ride and you have to put your cup in a locker, it's no big deal to dump it out because you can just get it refilled when you get back off. You're not ever going to be wasting anything. If you're over at Epic Universe, actually going on Monsters Unchained, your cup will fit upright and so you don't have to dump it out there. If you're going to have a pool day, absolutely go for the hotel freestyle mugs. And yes, you can have both if your trip calls for it or you just like to collect them because that's okay too. And this is a no judgment zone. Be aware of the reactivation policies because they can save you money. For the park freestyle cups, reactivating it is cheaper than buying a new one. And it pays for itself in just a couple of refills. And the hotel freestyle cups, if you pay for the activation for the length of your stay, it's just a little over $20, and that's pretty good too, even if you don't end up using it a lot other than when you're at the pool. It's a really fun souvenir. Now this is a really, really big one, and this is not so obvious. I want you to keep your receipts. When you first purchase the cup, if you're in the park and you have a freestyle cup and you reactivate it, keep that receipt. Because if your cup's RFID chip in the bottom stops working, your receipt is proof that you have activation for that day, and they will absolutely take care of you right away. Well, that's another thing, too. If you happen to break your lid, if you drop it, or your handle breaks, they're going to replace that for you free anyway. You don't need a receipt for that. And my final real-world advice has nothing to do with paying for any of these cups. I just want you to know that even if you never buy a cup, you can get free ice and cold filtered water from any of the freestyle machines in all of the parks or hotels. You don't have to wait in long lines to be handed a 5-ounce cup like you do at some parks. And because of the freestyle machines having excellent filters, it doesn't have that Florida water taste that some of y'all really complain about. So there's no excuse to not be on top of your hydration. I don't want to hear it because this is really serious business down here, and I want you safe, healthy, because you can't have a great trip if you're not. The bottom line is once you know which cup goes where, the whole refillable thing at Universal becomes super easy. It's wicked convenient, and it can save you money if you go in with a strategy that fits your plan best. Speaking of planning, if you're planning a trip and you want help choosing the right cup or figuring out where it fits into your bigger park strategy, I'd love to help you do that. You can reach me at my links in the show notes or find me on Instagram at unlocking_universal. And if you've got a universal question you want answered in a future episode, send it my way. Until next time, stay cool and remember, friends don't let friends pay full price to stay hydrated.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Now get out of here and go do something nice for someone.